The Next Frontier. Moderated by Carla Marie Vella, Consult XD.
And good morning. It is such an absolute pleasure to be here back at Sigma after the long hiatus thanks to COVID. But since the last time we've met, a lot has been happening in the venture space, specifically emerging tech, emerging investments. And today we're here to talk about the next frontier. So I'm joined here by my lovely panelists, and maybe they could just do a quick introduction to themselves.
Hi everyone. This is Anem Şöztürk from Istanbul, Turkey. I work in several different industries, creative industries, metaverse, blockchain gaming, and NFTs mostly, as an angel investor and also as an entrepreneur.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Blandford. From the gaming world in the UK, I was the founder of Sportingbet, which became a UK-listed company. But since 2007, I've been operating as a venture capital investor.
Hello. All right, it works now. So my name is Jarek. I'm coming from Poland to represent the alternative fund called Revenue Capital. It's based on the revenue-based funding model, which I'm going to tell you about a little bit more later. Thank you.
Super, thank you guys. And for those of you who do not know me, I'm Carla, a Malteser, even though I don't sound it. And I am the founder of Consult XD, which is a consultancy agency, but my background is in venture capital and all things gambling and blockchain. Okay guys, so tell me, are we going to go to the moon in the metaverse now? What is this metaverse? Tell me more.
Physically, it's possible in metaverse to go to moon. You can just build the moon.
Is it physically possible to be in a metaverse?
Yes, we are going there.
Okay.
If you look at old Facebook, new Meta, that's what's going to happen. But I think it's an amazing thing. To basically talk about metaverse, I always give the same example. If you watched Ready Player One, the movie or the book, it's a really good example of how metaverse will look like or feel like. So that's the future that everybody is kind of waiting. That's kind of my retirement plan, to live in metaverse, not live in the physical world. And the interesting thing is there are so many opportunities right now in metaverse. The panelists were talking about buying land in metaverse. That's just one thing. You can buy, you can build, you can create companies within metaverse that will help solve the problems of metaverse. So it's almost like an alternate reality, and we are just building it. So the possibilities are endless.
So basically, while Elon is focusing on the moon, everybody here should be focusing on the metaverse because it's a lot closer to our expectations, right? Okay, cool. So also, what do you think about this amazing metaverse?
I think I can't take you to the moon, Carla.
Oh.
But I think soon we're going to be able to make you think you're going to the moon.
Fantastic.
Then we need to think how much we're going to charge you for this experience.
It's no problem. I got Bitcoin, baby.
So I've got a big wallet, so we'll be fine.
Fantastic.
Yeah, being slightly more sensible about it. Look, things are changing and they're changing quickly. And it's really challenging for investors to keep up with this. I think as we widen the conversation, perhaps this morning, we're going to hear a lot about blockchain and related matters. There's a lot of focus there. I'm actually focusing away from that. I'm not a blockchain expert. I'm looking where the other people have left behind, because I see next frontiers in many other areas in and around gaming and support industries.
Cool, and we'll come to that in a bit. Jarek, do you have anything to bring to the table in terms of the metaverse? Maybe you and I are going to have a meta farm, or
Why not?
why not? Let's do it.
I'm just, technologically it's obviously extremely interesting. But when you think about the majority of the world population living in an extremely small spaces, extremely small flats, spending the most of the days, or most of the time after, they come back from work or whatever they do, they need an alternative reality, right? That's the sort of natural reaction, I suppose, from the business side, and the natural way of providing them with something exciting, something that can relate to, something they can live in. So I personally take metaverse as just harnessing a great opportunity from the business side, in the same time providing most of the people left behind right now with something super exciting.
So you consider the metaverse something that those who maybe not joined to the party so soon and were not able to get in there so early as maybe some of us who are on, in front of those tech entrepreneurs, now have the opportunity to join the party in this respect. Cool.
I think if you think about all the big technologies that changed our lives, at first they were very expensive. They were unreachable to the common people. But I think when metaverse hits the common industry, like cheap, accessible for everyone, then it will change people's lives. Because exactly like what he said, there are billions of people in the world who doesn't have access to like education, who doesn't have access to social services. And metaverse can create that closeness by virtuality, by using virtuality. And I don't think the Facebook will lead that. I think Elon Musk with the Neuralink will lead that, because when the Neuralink can work is the way he described, we can feel virtual worlds like real world. And when that happens, the distance between reality and virtuality will be very close to zero, and people start living there because in their real life they don't have enough space, they don't have access to anything, so they will switch, and this will change the culture and the society as well.
I agree. Okay, cool. I have another fad word that's flying around. I don't even think it's a fad anymore, but non-fungible tokens. Are they the future? Are we already in the future? Where are these blessed tokens taking us?
The jury is out.
The jury's out, Carly. You missed the boat.
I don't think you've missed the boat. I think what I would want to understand is the true scarcity value and the real intrinsic value that can be built into things, rather than just knowing that things can be mass-produced and sold and, quite frankly, a little bit fake. So it has to be having some real value in it for it to take off. I think it's an area, if I'm honest, that's probably being talked up quite a lot at the moment, maybe a little bit more than the reality, maybe like betting on esports, for example. A lot of talk, the numbers are smaller.
If I may, just to chip in quickly.
Please do.
NFTs, right? It's a nice play. It's a nice toy, but the underlying technology is extremely interesting. I mean, it's supposed to allow us to speed up the transactional process, like tokenizing assets, then allowing the transaction side to transact much quicker and with a much sort of greater value behind it, where we could see either traditional fiat or crypto being left more as more on the value assessing side, understanding the value of those transactions. But then NFTs, I believe personally, that will give us much greater transactional speed and opportunities in the future.
I think if we are talking about NFTs, we should talk from two different dimensions. The first The first dimension is how NFTs are becoming hype. And the reason why is art. So the artists all over the world, without using middlemen, without needing a curator or a gallery, they can sell their work directly to their customers, and they can create a community. And this is changing the world because now hundreds of thousands of artists can make a living. They can live just by selling their art online and talking to their communities. So this is, good for the world because more creativity, more art means we will have better lives.
Do you
And
think
this-
that marketplaces, sorry to interrupt you, but do you think that marketplaces also are something that attributing to this ability for, creatives like artists, musicians to be able to expose themselves in a new light then?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, I've been working with artists from all over the world for the last 6 months. We launched several NFT collections, and I can tell you that everybody is super excited about the opportunity, but it's just a portion of what NFTs are, because the non-fungible tokens, I'll give you an example. You can easily change the whole ticketing industry by using NFTs, because since they are on blockchain and they are decentralized, you cannot fake it, you cannot create a copy of it, you cannot scam people saying that here is your ticket. Because the contract, you can see the contract and you can see who has the tickets. And that's why, if the whole ticketing industry use NFTs as a system, as the ticket system, then there won't be any problem in terms of, scamming or any other thing. It's just one example. So the problem right now is blockchain technology, although it's decentralized, it's not scalable yet. So the new mainnets like Avalanche, Solana, is creating better transactions in faster terms. So I think within the next 2 years, we are going to see that the mainnets, the main technologies behind blockchain, are going to change with better ones, and this will create more accessibility for everyone. Because right now, if you want to buy an NFT, like $200 NFT, you have to pay like $100 gas. So everybody thinks it's okay, but it's not actually. So this will change, and it will be better.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to take a slight tangent, I guess, from another hype word, since I'm the hype girl today, and talk a little. I'd like to discuss a little bit about play to earn. I think that this is something that's and I'll just give a little bit of a background here. So yesterday I read a news article announcing that Rahul Sood, former unicorn Microsoft Ventures dude, an entrepreneur, managed to raise 5 million in less than 8 days with his passion, which is what he said, his passion, which is merging, NFTs, play to earn, some kind of platform. I'm super excited to see what it's all about. But let's talk a little bit about what this is. What is play to earn? What is the opportunity there? Could it be the next frontier?
I think it is certainly something of the future. I don't think there's actually one frontier. I think there are so many areas that are evolving gradually. But a few years ago, I think play to earn was already invented. It was called poker. And there were a percentage of people who earned a lot of money. Trust me, we own Paradise Poker. It was that 5% of the database took 80% of the money. So it's not a totally new concept. I think what we're seeing there now is we're seeing the advent of this in esports. And I think that's where it's going to emerge and grow strongly in that vertical. And a quick plug for the startup pitch tomorrow, because we have one of the play-to-earn companies who are in the final 10.
Fantastic.
So maybe we're going to learn more from them.
Cool.
Yeah, so when you think about play to earn, probably think about all those credits earned while you play. What happens with these credits? So now it's obviously not a new concept, but if you think about the exchangeability of those credits and the markets created within the games or on top of them, in terms of quitting from the previously earned assets, exchanging them for the new ones, exchanging them to fiat or crypto, Now, suddenly we have the whole new world of tokenized assets and the whole new market created for them. So that's yet another opportunity for not only gamers, not only players, also for the investors, also for the traders, for the speculators, and so on and so forth. So again, from my perspective, super exciting.
I think the interesting thing about play to earn, when the whole gaming thing started, we were paying to play.
Exactly.
And then whole hyper casual thing happened, so we were watching ads to play. Now they're giving us money to play, so it's amazing from a gamer
Welcome
perspective.
bonuses.
Exactly.
Okay.
But the challenge is now it become more earn than to play. So people are just playing in order to make money. So I think in the long run this will kill the gaming industry from a gaming point of view. So right now, for example, we are working on a new blockchain game, and we are calling it play and earn. So you have to play, have to have fun, because that's what the games are. And then while you are doing it, you can actually earn. And I think the right concept is somewhere there, not to, but and. And I agree with my colleagues here. This is not a new concept, but it's a nicely wrapped in a new box as a hyped. And I think it's working for the market, so I'm not going to say no.
I will chime in with a shameless plug. As yesterday, Fanteam announced their relationship with Razer, and that will also enable people who are playing esports to then play and earn Razer tokens on that platform. So this is a great adaptation even from esports coming into that space. All right, we have very little time left, and obviously, it just goes, time goes so quickly. So I want to spend a little bit of time, rather than me prompting all those curious questions that I have, maybe you guys telling me what you are seeing in your day-to-day in terms of emerging and new frontiers from your desk. Mark?
Yeah, we're seeing quite a wide range of stuff at the moment. We're seeing things that we've sort of covered already. But an area which really excites me, I think, are data-driven businesses. We recently made quite a large investment by our standards as an entry point into a company called Synologic. It's probably the most exciting company you've never heard of. It boasts, within 2 years, 3 tier 1 gaming companies, global gaming companies as clients, and they are increasing their rate of usage of the products that are currently in the market from the data, are anti-fraud, enhanced due diligence. It's also got anti-fraud in the insurance industries. It's got 2 tier 1s from the insurance industry already, and just creating really smart, focused products that mean that these big companies don't need huge offices in different parts of the world with hundreds, if not thousands, of people on spreadsheets. This is all automated. This is the future.
Fantastic. Jarek, what about on your desk?
All right. So NFTs has been mentioned. Tokenized assets, have been mentioned here. So I just want to stop for a while and think tokenized revenue. So if you can invest in the future revenues generated by a certain portfolio of companies, just speculating about the growth, speculating about the sustainability, that's something what my fund is currently doing. So it's based on the pretty old concept already called revenue-based funding, where instead of simply retrieving your investment from the assets, from the equity taken in those invested companies, the returns for the investors are returned in form of a share in revenue these invested companies are paying. So now, if this if those revenues are created as a product which is liquid, which is listed on an exchange, which becomes the means of the speculation, suddenly those very linear returns, in terms of like 5, 10, maybe 15% on an annual basis, they are converted into something much, much more profitable. Talking about maybe even a couple of 100% per year, but obviously that's speculation. So again, just lesson learned. In terms of tokenization, there are probably no boundaries. So if you can tokenize something like revenue, something so abstract, I'd like you to think, what comes next.
Tokenizing revenue, cool. Okay.
I truly believe that we are living in an amazing time because there are so many opportunities, there are so many frontiers we are just discovering. So in a way, this is like the second gold rush. And if you remember history, who made the most money in the gold rush? The guys who were selling the shovels. So I agree with my friend about data-driven businesses, but at the same time, marketplaces, industry makers, market makers, these kind of business structures, platforms, are going to be the ones that we should be, looking very closely. So exchanges, if you are talking about blockchain, NFT marketplace, tokens. I'll give you one example. So, there are these ENS domains, yourname.ether, for example. So if you buy, 10, 15 domains 3 months ago, they drop you their token worth of $40,000. They gave thousands of people at least $20,000. And you just woke up one day, and then in your wallet you found $40,000. And then the price of that token skyrocketed in 2 days. That $40,000 become $100,000. So people just buying domains paid back $100,000. This is crazy. So there are so many opportunities. We just need to look very closely where those opportunities are.
Fantastic. That's really insightful, and I look forward to making 100,000 euros from a domain. Great. So I'm just wondering, do I have time for questions? I don't know. Maybe we do. Do you have any questions from the audience? Yes. Might need a mic over there.
I think it's really interesting. I mean, what we are today as era. I just want to ask your personal opinion. Do you think all this together will actually influence how physical governments are working? Will we actually change the physical frontier as well?
Oh, I've got the mic. Let me answer the question then. Absolutely. Obviously, there is something like a mental shift, which is needed. I have at the back of my head, still the story I've seen in Japan. I visited Japan last year, and I realized, how still paper-based, the Japanese economy is, and how difficult this mental shift, is, for everyone. I mean, for the corporations, for the employees, to make. On the other hand, doesn't mean that it's impossible to be made. At some point, we are forced to make the change. I mean, COVID and the lockdowns, probably are the best example, what has happened already. And I think we've seen, tremendous changes happening just because we were actually forced to do that. Now the technology either comes first or comes next, depends, how you look at it. But I believe that, having still fresh in mind what has happened last year, this year, there are irreversible changes already done. And again, blockchain, and the various tokenization models and the whole business models built around them. I mean, it's just something what keeps happening and will be happening in the coming future.
Just a quick answer. I think they live together. And I think what's happened in the last 2 years has triggered and accelerated where we've been forced to adopt tech. But what's interesting as we come out, look at the attendance in Malta. 10,000 people have come to Malta for this show. People want experiences. We could have presumably all video called in or something. People want it with properties, real estate, vacations. So the answer is the greater degree of technology and automation gives people more time for real physical world experiences, in my view.
I think the more the technology gets better, it becomes invisible. So we are in the days of Atari. If we are talking about blockchain, you should think like Atari. It's not PlayStation 5 yet. It's the first version. So it's a little cranky, it's interesting, there's lots of features that is totally new, but the graphics are a little pixelated, so it's like very early days. But the paradigm shift is not in the product, it's in the thinking. Because the concept of decentralization is not just about investment, games, it's about how we govern ourselves as a society. So you know the concept of DAOs. So when the DAO concept becomes the governance of the real world, that will be a paradigm shift. And I think we are in the early steps of a huge cultural change. I think within the next 50 years, the concept of governments, cities, countries are going to change. And I totally agree with my colleague here, because the physical and digital is very close right now. And with technologies like Neuralink and virtual reality, the gap will close within the next 50 years. And after that, it will be a very different world.
Thank
you.
Thanks. All right, I think it's time up. Oh, come on, we had to go to the moon yet.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you
Give
for
my
having
panelists
us.
a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.